Hello everyone. So today I'm going to be discussing the media influence in politics. So I'll start with social media. Chanel Ignat says, social media allows us to view political news and participate in political discussion like never before. And I believe that's very true. It also impacts politics in a way it didn't before. This statistic shows that about 6 in 10 Americans get their news from social media. So 62% of Americans get news on social media. And that's a very high number. A lot of people being exposed to it. Now, it can either affect them positively or negatively when they get this news. Our, at the time, running presidential candidate, Donald Trump, tweeted that the election was being rigged by, in his opinion, dishonest and distorted media, pushing Cricket Hillary, but also at many polling places. And it goes to show how even he believes that the media could be distorted and affect his voters or even his people that were already against him. So, and then in this next picture, we see how many followers these presidential candidates have. Our current president has 8.6 million followers, which is a pretty high number of Americans. So a lot of people get to view what he says, what he believes, what he thinks, what he proposes even. Whereas before we didn't really have that luxury. We had to wait for television to, for a news coverage program to cover that for us and show us. So now it's a little more immediate. It's also free for them. So I can see why they use social media to spread their beliefs, their promises, their campaigns, their advertisement even. So, and now moving on to journalism. Andrea Brikasek from the University of Oregon says, journalists wield a lot of power over the U.S. political process. The media have played an important role in politics since the First Amendment established freedom of the press as a cornerstone of American democracy. Voters need information to make educated decisions, and it's journalists' job to give it to them. And now the way they educate us, though, is very selective. So they choose who to cover, they choose how to cover or describe it, and their opinions are pretty biased. I strongly believe that it's nearly impossible to omit opinion from news articles because we're humanly unable to be omniscient. So that's my opinion on that. And then television. This statistic shows the bias in cable news coverage of presidential candidates 2012. We can see how NBC is more favorable of the Democratic Party than Fox, with Fox is more favorable towards the Republican Party. And then music and radio. Deanna Stefanishin and Julie Kendall say our global world seems to be getting smaller as we are able to connect to people in a way that was never imagined. Radio and television were among the early contributors to a new form of mass media and played a role in affecting world political views and religious beliefs. So I definitely think that's true because, and I think radio more than anything has that power to influence and sway our opinions because it's what we listen to more. We're able to listen to the radio while we multitask at work, at home, on the drive to work or home. So it's just more accessible. And yeah, so that's my presentation. I really hope you guys enjoy.